What is up, my friends? And you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. Look, I wasn't going to be recording a video today. It was supposed to be my day off, but there's been a lot of behind the scenes upheaval that I wanted to bring to you guys. I wanted to make you aware of it, and of course, I wanted to know your thoughts on it. Do let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course, please do hit that subscribe button. So, look. It's been a very turbulent couple of weeks at Liverpool Football Club. We know that FSG are putting the club up for sale, and this week we also found out that, of course, Manchester United are going to be up for sale. Now, that in itself is probably something that doesn't bother many of us because we're thinking, all right, fair enough, we'll get new owners, it'll all be grand, we'll move forward. That's true. And I'm sure we will get new owners, and I'm sure it will work out. But right now, in a period where we're battling to be ready for the January transfer window, where our form in the season hasn't been great, you want as much continuity at the football club as possible. Continuity for me is completely underestimated how important it is. You look at managers who've spoken about continuity at clubs in years gone by. You're talking about Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp. It is a big part of a club's success, whether that's on the pitch or off the pitch. Continuity is important. So today we hear that Julian Ward is leaving his role as sporting director at the end of the season. Julian Ward has only taken up that role this season after Michael Edwards moved on. Now, look, we all know that Michael Edwards deserves a statue, and the job that he did at Liverpool Football Club was quite simply astonishing. And there was a handover period where Michael Edwards and Julian Ward worked side by side, getting ready for Julian Ward to take up the reins. And Julian Ward overseeing the contract extension of Mohamed Salah, and obviously was part of bringing in Darwin Núñez, and has done a pretty good job since he's come in. So today we hear that he's moving on. So that's two key executives that we've heard have moved on. So we know that recently we've had Billy Hogan take over from Mike Gordon. Mike Gordon was FSG's boy who basically ran Liverpool Football Club on a day-to-day basis. He was FSG's eyes and ears in Liverpool. And he's moved on. So Billy Hogan stepping in there. It's not just that though. This goes a little bit deeper yet again. So we also find out today that the head of our director of research, Ian Graham, is leaving the club at the end of the season. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. Yes, you may suggest that this is probably not unusual if FSG are looking to sell, but I gather and I wonder, is a sale closer than maybe we believe? Because for these people to be coming out and jumping ship or announcing that they're going to be moving on at the end of the season kind of makes me, well, it makes me nervous, to be honest with you, because we're going to go into a January transfer window where we have to be active. We have to be involved in a pretty big way in this window, guys. Like, we can't sit on our hands. We did that in the summer. We panicked and brought in Arthur Melo on loan after a summer where every Liverpool fan that I'm aware of was screaming for a midfielder. Jurgen Klopp and FSG finally admitted that they were wrong, with the injuries kept coming thick and fast, and they went out and got Arthur Melo. We all know that that was a panic buy, so there's no excuse to not get it right going into January. But you wonder who's going to be doing these transfers. I mean, it's been announced today that Klopp will take more of a front seat in transfer negotiations or in transfer dealings, which is grand, no problem with that. But I can't sit here and lie and say that I'm not nervous to hear of all this upheaval behind the scenes, because one thing that's allowed Liverpool to compete with the likes of Real Madrid, Manchester City, and other huge clubs in Europe is that we've been clever. We've been clever in how we've scouted players, how we've recruited players, how we've sold players, and the people that I've spoken about have been a huge part of that. So it's not just as simple as move these guys on and bring somebody else in. These are people that have played a huge role in our success. So to hear Jamie Carragher today as an example come out and say that he's a little bit nervy about it as well, it doesn't exactly inspire you with confidence, does it? Going into a January window where we need to act, but more importantly, building towards a summer window where, and I'm not going to go into transfers on this video, but where we need to go and get a certain midfielder, and if there's any upheaval at the club or if the club looks a bit shaky, that certain midfielder whose name I won't mention in this video won't come to the club if that's the case. So I want to know how you're feeling right now about this news today. I mean, Michael Edwards, we all know, we all respected, we all loved. Julian Ward looked like he was coming in, and to be fair, it didn't look like there was much upheaval. But when you see more and more executives leaving the football club, as I said, Mike Gordon, Julian Ward, Michael Edwards before him, and then Ian Graham today, I can't lie and say it isn't making me nervous. Now, while we're speaking about the subject of Liverpool and the sale of Liverpool Football Club, we have to also mention the sale of Manchester United. So Manchester United look like they're up for sale. Valuations I've seen are somewhere between 7 and 9 billion. And it looks like there will be plenty of prospective buyers for both clubs. But what worried me mostly today was one of the princes of Saudi Arabia came out today and made a statement that said that the government would very much support any private businesses or private entities that look to buy Liverpool or Manchester United, or Liverpool and Manchester United, because he went on to say it's the most watched league in Saudi Arabia, and that they're great opportunities to buy two huge clubs. So that sounds alarm bells ringing in my head straight away. Because yes, you can say to me, Craig, these will be separate entities. It won't be a government-backed fund. I have my doubts about that. In any country that is closely controlled by a royal family or by one single individual, they're usually wrapped up in any business that goes on in that country. So for me, that is another worrying sign. I don't want somebody wrapped up with the Saudi Arabian royal family to buy Liverpool Football Club. I don't care if it's an individual who's worth billions. To me, it's all the same. You can't separate. I don't want to say a dictator, because that I don't know enough about Saudi Arabia and I wouldn't disrespect them in that way. But you have a family, a royal family that governs and rules there. I wouldn't feel comfortable with somebody who has made their fortune in that company, who obviously has close ties to the royal family, coming in to buy Liverpool Football Club. I can't speak for Manchester United fans, but I like to think that they would probably feel the same. Now look, this isn't me having a dig at individual businesses or whatever. I've always been consistent in saying I don't want Liverpool to be bought by a state-backed fund. I also don't want Liverpool to be bought by somebody who is pretending to be a private business or a private entity, but is actually a state-backed fund. So whatever way the Newcastle takeover was dressed up and we were led to believe that, oh, it isn't the Saudi Arabian royal family, we know what it is, and I wouldn't want that for Liverpool Football Club either. So I guess that leaves us with who's going to buy the club, and when will it happen? The answer to those questions I don't have for you. But these decisions that have been made behind the scenes at Liverpool, you know, if you're reading between the lines, I wonder, is a sale perhaps a bit closer than we thought? Because I can't see FSG, who have been very good at steadying the ship, who've been very good at managing PR and making sure that the club doesn't look like it's ever in turmoil and all these kind of things, suddenly allowing all these things to happen when they're about to sell the club. It just wouldn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense as to why rock the boat before you sell up. You're going to look to obviously maximise whatever your sale price is, and any uncertainty at the club would potentially put off a new buyer. So I'm a little bit concerned. I want to know what your thoughts are on obviously the comments from the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and of course on the news around the executives leaving Liverpool Football Club and our head of research Ian Graham also leaving the club. So I will be back tomorrow with another transfer video. We'll be talking about Jude Bellingham. We'll be talking about a couple of other players as well. Kudus from Ajax was a player who was linked to us today, so do keep an eye out for that one. But for right now, please do let me know in the comment section. Do you think that we are closer to a sale than perhaps we're led to believe? Because remember, this sale package has been doing the rounds for 5-6 weeks from the banks to prospective buyers, and we didn't know about it then. So maybe FSG, who do have a history of keeping the cards close to their chest, maybe something's happening. Maybe it's a bit closer than we think. I don't know, but I wanted to come to you guys and see what you think about it. As always, my friends, I appreciate your time this evening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.